but you can hear the
Are
cut.
they gonna like fuse like in Dragon Ball Z?
That would be crazy.
Fusion, huh? I am Captain Man.
Captain Man.
Iron America? What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Zero Cred Podcast. I am Brian. You know, it's funny that you did that because I was thinking, I was like, I have a feeling one of these days when I'm doing the intro part, somebody go jump right in the middle of it. Lo and behold,
I'm John.
I'm Brian.
I didn't get to introduce myself.
I'm Brian. I'm just going to keep saying that's all I'm saying for the rest of the day.
Oh, yeah.
That does kind of throw you off.
Yeah, get back up.
It's like you stole that from a character in a movie.
No.
I'm Groot. I'm Brian.
Oh,
Trash.
trash.
All you do is copy people.
Trash. Here we are in this episode. We're gonna talk about The Punisher season 2. Before that, let's get into some stuff that's kind of happened over the past couple of weeks. Do you guys got anything in particular you want to talk about? Warren?
Why do you always make me
I just look to my left every time.
stop doing that?
John?
Nothing that we don't have written down already.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll just go rattle it down. Let's talk about what's going on with Dark Phoenix.
Trash.
It very much so.
We don't know that.
Yeah, I think we do. I think it's
track record.
Right. It's an incredibly strong assumption that we can make that this movie's going to suck. Because I guess they've had 2 screenings for it. Both of them were terrible. So they are, I think they've pushed it back yet again. This is, I believe, the second time they've pushed it back.
No, the third.
Is it the third time? Oh, is it
This
fourth?
was supposed to come out like a year ago. And then
It was supposed to come out last year.
They're going to sell Fox's stuff to Disney, and then everything just went downhill from there. And then they started pushing it back more and more.
Right. Now the sale from Fox to Disney has nothing to do with trash movie making.
No, because this movie was already filmed, and I think they're just trying to see the best version of the trash that they made and cut it into the best version.
They're putting the firmest turd out there.
Right.
Or they're just buying time until the deal goes through, and they'll just not make it. They just release it and then let Marvel make X-Men.
What they could do is they could just bide their time as soon as the sale is done, and then just put out a direct-to-video. Or they could break it down into like a mini series. 4 30-minute episodes. Oh, it's got to be bad though. It does sound better. It's got to be bad though because, like I said, both screenings have gone terrible. They pushed it back. They're reshooting. They're re-editing the movie. It doesn't sound promising at all.
That didn't help it either.
No, that didn't help it. But you know what? That was more entertaining than the movie we're going to get probably.
A year. I'm not joking.
It was supposed to come out a year ago?
It was supposed to come out March 2018. They pushed it to February 2019, and then now it's slated for June 2019.
Why is it coming out in my birthday month? Don't be tainting me. Don't do that.
I think it was almost your birthday. It was June 17th, maybe?
Yeah, my birthday 2 days before. That would have been the worst birthday present.
Oh, no, June 7th, my bad. 2 days after my birthday. Fuck.
Your birthday sucks this year, bro. Hey, man, we know what we can do for your birthday. We can go watch a really shitty movie.
I'm going to have my big old party probably that Saturday.
Ooh.
That's probably, the 7th is probably Friday, so it'd be the 8th.
Mm-hmm.
When you're having a big old party.
It could be a Wednesday. Sometimes they release them on Wednesdays.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm ready for
I'm
that.
inviting everybody I know. Because last year was pretty intense.
That was nuts.
That was a good party.
It was a good one.
Sorry, Brian.
Oh, don't apologize. Yeah, I'm too old for that crowd.
Know.
I'm too old for that crowd. But anyway, we can move on to another.
Well, I'll say one thing
okay.
real quick. Can it be worse than their first interpretation of the
Yes.
comics?
I think it can. Because while the first one was really bad, it was bad. It had a lot of cool moments.
It also had Hugh Jackman.
And it had Hugh Jackman. And as long as Hugh Jackman is playing Wolverine and he's in a movie, it's going to be at least somewhat watchable while he's on screen.
Yeah.
But it can be worse because we don't have Hugh Jackman.
That scene where he has to, crawl, but he's, standing trying to go up to kill her, and like his skin's ripping off and his skeleton showing.
Yeah.
And he's healing. Like, that was really badass.
That was kind of
We
neat,
don't have
yeah.
anything nearly that cool in this
No,
movie
because we don't have Hugh Jackman.
Yeah. Well, I guess we don't know we don't have Wolverine.
I
But
mean,
we know it's not Hugh Jackman.
I don't think we have Wolverine in that. I think
that if they just have multiple X-Men just try to walk up and do it and keep dying, that would be fun to see.
that's how they kill this franchise. Is the Dark Phoenix
She just kills everybody
Yeah.
and she explodes.
Well, it's the same. The guy that's directing this one is the guy that wrote the first one.
Yeah,
The first time they tried to do it when Brett Ratner directed it. And that failed then. And why do they keep in Hollywood? You fail upwards. With the worse you do, the more responsibility they give you, and the more power they give you. It seems so strange.
It's so strange.
When did that third one come out?
I think I was in the military at the time. I think it came out when I was
Old.
2006.
Okay, so I wasn't in the
here we are.
military. No, I was out.
13 years later, and we're still trying to get it right with these movies.
Well, I think the problem that that Hollywood has is that they always try to condense great storylines into single movies.
Right.
And the Dark Phoenix storyline was ginormous.
It's like a Infinity War.
Right. It's
style.
huge.
Yeah.
And you can't condense that kind of a story into a 2.5 hour arc.
Well,
It's just not gonna
that might
happen.
be what they have in the upper hand with is because they will have a 2.5 hour, whereas The Last Stand, the Phoenix was not the main storyline. She was just
It
there.
was it was just
She
a
was
mess.
just there.
You're right.
In
yeah.
the way.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so bad. This one's gonna be so bad.
Yeah, let's move on from this trash.
All right, we can move on to some more trash. We got the New Mutants. That movie got pushed back, and they're reshooting and re-editing that. And I said it right this time, recutting this because I guess they had a screener. It didn't go bad, but I think people were saying that the movie didn't really know what it was.
Didn't have
So
an identity.
They're trying to cut it and make it more of a horror movie. So it's, I mean,
Not getting watched by me.
yeah, it's not going to get watched by a lot of people, I don't think.
I mean, not because it won't be good. I'm not gonna watch it because it's gonna be scary.
Yeah, I think that's a bold approach, though.
It would be interesting.
I mean,
Well, it's cool that we're getting more genre-specific superhero movies.
I agree.
Brightburn,
yeah,
and then this one's going to come out. Logan was kind of like a Western. Deadpool's kind of a satire. It's not we're getting more than just a straightforward superhero movie
Right.
these days.
Yeah.
I like that.
this could be very. It could be. I mean, it's going to be unique. It could be good, though. I think that it's bold of them to really just say, you know what, we're just gonna make it a fucking horror movie.
Right.
I think that's really bold of them to do that. So I give them credit for at least being brave. But from the trailers that I've watched, it really doesn't look very good. It
No.
doesn't make me want to go see it at all. But
So why DC and Fox? Is that who's making New Mutants? Obviously.
no, New Mutants is a Marvel product.
I thought that was more of like an X-Men.
Yeah, it's an X-Men product. Yeah, you said DC though.
I said DC. Yeah, I was
Oh, okay.
talking about.
Oh,
DC,
sorry,
and
yeah.
I said Fox.
Okay.
I would imagine Fox is making New Mutants.
Yes, yeah, it is
So
Fox.
why is Marvel the only one that can make their shit right? DC and Fox just can't get it. I mean, DC's coming around.
DC's coming around.
Fox
yeah.
has a couple out of 14,000 movies. They have like 2 that are decent. Fox or Logan and Deadpool 1 and 2.
Yeah.
There's a couple good X-Men movies, but
Yeah, I think the first X-Men
the
movie was pretty
percentage
good.
of good to bad X-Men franchise movies.
Actually, I think the first 2 X-Men movies were pretty
First
good.
one's
I kind of
okay.
like the
second
second
one's great. Third one's trash.
Yeah. Oh,
First
yeah.
Class is good though.
Yeah.
First
Oh,
Class
there
is
you go.
good.
Yeah, X-Men First Class was really good. I like
I
that.
guess I like.
And I
liked Days of Future Past.
I like that one too. Yeah.
But
So.
then you get to Apocalypse,
Ugh.
X-Men Origins.
Ugh.
Oh my god.
That was a goddamn catastrophe.
You get
The
Last Stand. I guess it's
Wolverine
probably about
wasn't
half.
bad. The Wolverine wasn't bad.
Oh, I forgot that movie existed.
That wasn't bad, and it was directed
It's
by the
not-
same guy that made Logan. So the Wolverine was pretty good.
Yeah, it was.
What's that guy's name?
James
Jonathan.
Mangold?
Yeah, James Mangold. I was thinking Jonathan Hensley for some reason, but no, James
I guess
Mangold.
they're about
yeah.
50-50.
Yeah, they are. I think you're
But
right.
Marvel's like.
Because
90%.
all of the Fantastic Four movies have been terrible.
Oh, yeah.
All 3 of them. Well, actually 4 of them because they made one by Roger Corman made one
In the 90s.
that never even got released.
Yeah.
So yeah, That was bad too. So all 4 Fantastic Fours are everything but.
And then DC has like 2 good movies.
DC's got a couple good movies now.
DC tops the Fantastic Four because they were gonna make a Superman movie with Nicolas Cage.
Oh man, I know. Have you ever seen the test footage of that?
I don't think I've seen the footage.
So bad. It was just costume fitting, is all it was.
Yeah.
And I don't even know what that was.
I mean, back then he had a good build, though.
Oh no, I'm not.
That's about it.
I'm not playing on Nicolas
Yeah.
Cage. I just when you
He
see
was
the
Ghost
suit, it's
Rider.
just like what the.
He
fuck?
was Ghost Rider. Yeah.
Except the abs in that movie were CGI.
Is that true?
Mhm.
I didn't know that.
I know weird things.
You do know weird things. That's a
feel like
very
I always-
strange.
I
That's a
always
strange
drop some
fact
sort
to
of
have.
Weird movie making fact. in
Yeah,
the
that is just a
podcast.
really
Yeah.
weird thing to have rattling around in your head.
I watch a lot of like the Loopers and the,
Okay, I
the
do too,
Mojo.
yeah.
I watch a lot of those, and you learn a lot of weird things.
That is true.
Anyway, what's our next?
Okay, our next topic is we will move on to and it segues right into that horror. New Mutants being a horror movie. Now DC wants to make a horror movie called Trench, based on the monsters in Aquaman.
Oh yeah.
So
I know we talked about
that
this.
was intense.
We
Oh,
talked about this
yeah.
before, and you guys reminded me. And then
Well, like, it's
you
just
said that
funny.
again. I'm like, what is this trench movie?
It was like-
again?
that's why I was laughing because I was like, John is not gonna remember what this is while he's
Yeah.
explaining it.
Every time.
And then I look over and John's just like, Trench, what is this? And he's like, the horror movie and Aquaman. Oh yeah, okay. It could be good, I guess.
I think-
I don't know what you would do. Like, do you just tell how they became that?
I think that's all right.
Or do
I
you
think
just
uh,
show how everyone goes in there and dies
Well,
until Aquaman?
I think you
It
can
would
focus
be
on her.
cool to see like the mom's journey if it was that.
Yeah.
She had to go through the trench and like it's just a horror movie.
Well, we know that's what we're gonna get if they cast Nicole Kidman in it. So yeah.
But that's it. It's like, oh, okay. This is what
I don't know. I got a feeling that I don't know. I don't know that they'll do that. I think that could work
Yeah.
certainly, but
I just don't.
as long
know-
as they get James Wan to have something to do with it, I think it'll be fine because James Wan does horror very well.
I don't know what other story that they could attract people to
Yeah.
come see this movie.
It's true.
Right.
We don't. Well, I'm not well versed enough in DC comics to know, but there may be like a group of people who went on a journey and maybe they had a
Very
run
true.
where they went on a journey.
Yeah, they're-
encountered the trench looking for the trident, and then
There
tell
might
that
be a graphic novel out there that we don't even know about that's ripe for that. That's maybe it could be
like
called
a,
Trench
it
for all
could
I
be
know.
Like, like no superheroes involved. It could just be like a big warship or something. It's like an alien style movie where the trench monsters get on board this ship and it's a horror movie.
Yeah,
In that sense. Just some
that could
silver-
actually be pretty badass.
Yeah, let's
That could be dope.
DC call me. What's up?
We'll see what happens though. We have really nothing other than just that's what they want to do. So
Right.
that just leaked like 3 days ago, something like that.
Within the past couple.
Yeah. And we'll move on to I love this. I wrote down end game 3 fucking hours.
Woo!
I am glad.
I am too.
Like, quit making like, oh, we got to make it this amount of time because this is what people want. Everybody's like, give us the longest movies. We want the whole story, and they're like, all right, we'll make it 3 hours long. That's what they gave us.
And you said, what did the Russos say after the screening?
Nobody got up to go to the bathroom. Nobody was like, I'm out. They just sat there. Everybody took all 3 hours in, and I'm sure it's wonderful.
Well, yeah, that's. I mean, nobody left, so yeah. I mean, oh wow, 3 fucking hours.
Wouldn't it suck if like the credits come up at the beginning and then you're like, fuck, I gotta pee. 3 hours later,
I think at the beginning is the best time to go.
probably.
Or you say that, and then something happens, and then you don't have to pee anymore.
Well, at least you're warm.
Like Thanos, like rips Tony's spine out of his body. You're like, never mind. I don't have to pee anymore.
That new trailer from the Super Bowl did you
Made me
guys see
laugh.
that?
yeah.
It made me laugh.
Well, I guess
yeah?
it's a teaser. It's not really a
Yeah,
trailer.
because most people forget. We don't. And I was like, it wasn't funny, but it was funny. I don't know why. It just made me laugh.
Something I watched like a breakdown, and I didn't even notice it until they broke it down, and then I listened to it. That sentence, I think it's that sentence. That's actually Tony Stark and Captain America talking. They make it sound like one sentence from one person, but if you actually listen to it, you can tell there's a cut in the middle where you're like, oh, these are 2 different people saying that. Like Captain America's the back half where he's like, "We don't forget," or whatever the sentence is, or "We don't move on." Some people
most people move on.
We don't. Like there's
We don't.
Tony Stark saying that first part, and I think Captain America's saying the back half. They make it look like Captain America's saying the whole sentence, but you can hear the
Are
cut.
they gonna like fuse like in Dragon Ball Z?
That would be crazy.
Fusion, huh? I am Captain Man.
Captain Man.
Iron America?
Iron
That
America.
sounds better. But I think Captain Man is what they should
Captain
go with.
Man is great. That needs to be a comic book now. Captain Man.
Iron America sounds like a Industrial Revolution based metal band.
It does. It does. That's
Tired of building the stuff every day. We gotta switch it up. Throw that grenade in the building. In the building. But yeah,
Oh,
Captain
man,
Man.
excuse me.
That-
Captain Man. That's so funny.
Captain, you're on.
But it does look intense. I'm
Yeah.
ready for it.
Let's talk about it. The Punisher season 2. Initial thoughts.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
All right.
Both fair
What
answers.
about yours?
I thought it was really good. Thought that it wasn't great, but I did enjoy it.
Same with me.
My only I don't have just one complaint. I have a lot of complaints,
Yes.
but I also liked a lot. There's a lot of things I really like. I think that overall performances from everybody were great.
Yeah.
I don't think there was any weak acting in it. I think everybody performed really well with the characters that they were written to give us. That being said, there was some character issues that I had, mainly with Mr. Russo himself. He's probably my least favorite, but not because of anything.
Just the direction they took him.
Yeah, I think that Jigsaw fucking sucked in this show.
Yeah. Like
I mean,
He wasn't even fucked up.
yeah,
Like
that's
his face wasn't even close to ready to be Jigsaw. Like the mask he had on was more accurate than his face.
That's my number one complaint is the design of Jigsaw was so shitty and lazy.
The build up to the
yeah,
reveal of his face
right.
was like kind of pointless.
There was no payoff whatsoever.
It's like, why did
When
they-
he pulled
why
that
did he
off, I
even
was
have a
like,
mask?
"Oh, he's still a really good looking dude. Why the fuck is he wearing the mask?" You know, I mean, like he got some scars, big fucking deal.
Right.
Like that was really disappointing. But that's
I just feel like we could have done without the Billy Russo storyline.
we could have
If we weren't
yeah.
gonna make him the primary guy and the primary issue in this season, he didn't need to be in it.
I agree.
I think if they knew they could have gotten a third season, they could have done something else. Maybe make a preacher the main,
John
guy-
Pilgrim.
whatever. Make him the main antagonist in this season, but have sprinkle in build up to have
Okay.
Billy Russo the main threat. You know, like a Kingpin style from Daredevil season 3 and season 3 of this as Billy Russo versus Punisher. That would have been, but they're probably not going to get a season 3.
If they go by critic reviews, they're probably not, because this is not getting that great. It's getting 60%.
Well, I mean, everything else is.
so-
I think once Jessica Jones gets dropped, they're going to cancel these two
most likely, yeah.
because everything else is canceled.
I'm surprised they haven't announced the cancellation of this yet.
I think they're
though.
going to wait till Jessica Jones comes out.
You think? Yeah.
Yeah. So they
It's
can
a
be
good
like,
thought.
"Hey, here are
Yeah.
these last two things, and we're done. Peace out. See you next year." But not really.
But let's talk about the story. Basically, starts off Punisher getting lit at a bar, gets some booty.
He's becoming happy, unfortunately,
Yeah,
because when that happens, that's when shit goes bad.
Yeah.
And look what happened.
he got some booty.
Yeah.
And then the booty got shot.
The booty got shot.
In the arm.
Yeah, we want to specify not in the booty. As Frank Castle being the person that he is, he saw the girl. He could tell she was scared. Decided to see why she was scared. Could tell
Right.
people were after her, and there we get trajected into
Chaos.
An amazing bathroom fight scene.
the bathroom fight scene into the bar scene. The fighting that was fucking awesome.
That's probably the best action, I think, in the season.
I think there was some other good stuff,
Well,
but yeah, I can see what you're
hand to
saying.
hand, I would definitely argue.
Yeah.
That was like the best thing. Because anytime a guy takes his belt off,
You know,
and then
shit's
wraps
about to
around
get
his
real.
arm, you know you about to get your ass whooped. Like, I don't even care how trained you are. Because I was watching him do it, and I was like, he gonna spank him with a belt? And he was like, nope, put this on my arm, and I'm about to
Russo.
Like already, like
he's
you know,
already
he's not
screwed.
even here. That's the weird irony about Frank Castle, and they touch on it, and then they play into it later. Is that he kills people, takes this punishment, doesn't care who you are. Like if you're doing wrong, he's gonna kill you. But it's the sense that he's doing it for the right reason that gives him a sense of like, I'm okay. Like I struggle just like everybody else that has to see blood and death, but
I can deal with it.
I can deal with it because I'm doing it to stop the other piece of shit from existing.
Yep.
So I'm a piece of shit for killing people, but you're a piece of shit for being a piece of shit. So I'm gonna shoot you. But it's just weird because it's like he didn't have to get involved and he did. But he even came out and said it at some point in the season. He was like, if you had been a guy, I probably wouldn't have done anything.
Right.
But because you were a female, it was a girl. Clearly not right. I had to do something. So he has this weird moral compass.
He's got a code.
He's got a weird code, but it's weird to me.
It's a little odd, but I think it fits the character, though.
Yeah. It's just weird, and it having that type of code, it kind of makes sense for you to just end up in situations that don't make sense, like that had nothing to do with him.
Right? Yeah.
He was just happened to be passing through. She just happened to be an idiot, and so he had to put his life on the line.
Yeah, she did not play. She didn't react very well to potentially being hunted. She stuck out like a sore thumb.
Right.
Like the first time he sees her, she's like staring at him, and he looks at her, and she's like, "What are you looking at?" He's like, "Bitch, you looking at me?" He's
Pretty
like,
much
"You're the one that's staring at me.
Yeah.
Are you okay?" So yeah, it was
real quick. I've seen it online a bunch of times, and I don't know if this was a real crossover comic or what, but it's Batman talking to the Punisher, and it's kind of wraps up the Punisher's moral compass. And Batman goes, when you kill a killer, the amount of killers in the world stays the same because you killed a killer, but you become a killer. So the amount of killers in the world stays the same. And Punisher goes, that's why I kill many. And that's his whole thing.
Huh, I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
That's interesting. They should put that on a t-shirt.
Because, Batman does the same thing. He just doesn't kill them. He just stops people,
Right.
And Punisher's like, nah, they gotta die.
And then you see more of that ideology in going back to the Daredevil season when he was telling Matt Murdock, like, you put them down, they get back up. I put them down, they stay down.
Right.
Like, I take the shot you can't take. And
right.
So that's always just something to see. It's like the more brutal side of New York, I guess, the superheroes in New York. Like, not all of them, because I guess he's more of an anti-hero than a superhero. He's not out here looking to save people. He's just like, oh, that shit's wrong. I'm here. Might as well.
One of my favorite callbacks to Daredevil is it's not even like in the show. It's a title of one of the episodes. And when he gets introduced in Daredevil season 2, he goes, all it's going to take is one bad day for you to turn into me. He's saying that to Daredevil.
Yeah.
And one of the episodes is called One Bad Day
Mm-hmm.
in this season. I just thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
I just love that idea because he's right. He's like, you have... And he was almost right. Daredevil almost had that against Kingpin. He almost was like, I'm going to kill Kingpin. I've had my bad days. I'm going to kill him.
Yeah.
Like how they're connecting it, but it's subtle,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. We got the characters we get in this season are obviously Frank Castle. What's the girl's name? I can't remember.
She had like 8 names.
Yeah, she had like 8. Amy, I think, is her real name.
Yeah,
Emily,
they
Rachel,
identify her as Amy.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's basically becomes his
sidekick
throughout and that is one of the stronger things, in my opinion, of the season is the development of their relationship, because by the time it's over, he legit really cares for her,
right?
And he legit just loves her like a daughter. And I really liked the development of that relationship in this season. I thought that was really good.
I was disappointed because we didn't get Micro back.
See, that
kind of sucked too. Yeah, I really wanted him to come back.
I really like that, but it's also my biggest complaint is because I liked that part of season 1.
Yeah.
The love-hate relationship that they formed in that season, and at the end of it, they went their separate ways in the love, brotherly love part of their relationship, and then we didn't get to see them.
Yeah.
That's it.
Because I
agree. I would have liked to have had him in this season too.
Right.
Yeah, I think this season would have benefited from having Micro back.
Yeah,
because I thought that's what he was gonna do when she was like, "Where are we going?" He was like,
"That's what I thought too."
I
did.
I
did
go
the same
get my
thing.
guy, but he didn't. He went to Curtis,
and they gave us the same thing with her, it was just not the same character. Like they
Right.
built that love
But I
relationship.
did, yeah, I did like that. I liked the development of it, and
Well, because it hits his strings a little harder because
he had a daughter.
He basically becomes a father
I
figure.
think he said she would have been
17.
17,
She
yeah.
was 17. And that was a really interesting scene to watch too, because I think for the first time he actually took time to stop and not mourn his family, but kind of like imagine what would have been, or the beauty they would have been able to, put
Right.
into his life.
right.
Because kind of like how he said at the end of the first season, he was like, I've been living for vengeance my whole rest of my life so far, and now I don't have anything to really fight for. I don't know. I'm lost, like, basically. And so then she kind of gave him a perspective that he wouldn't typically have.
Right.
And I think that kind of played into or lent itself to the idea of him being kind of a father to her, being
Right.
a daughter that he never got to truly have at the end of the day.
Yeah, it was good stuff, man.
She was annoying as fuck, though.
She had her moments where I just wanted to slap the shit out of her too.
I was
just
like,
shut the fuck up.
like, you need to stop it.
Yeah, there was. I will say this though. There was kind of almost an imbalance there sometimes, because sometimes it seemed like her character really knew that she was in deep shit, and then sometimes it seemed like she thought she was above it and she was smart enough to
Yeah,
get out of it.
Right.
But
Like
didn't
when they were
know
at the,
sometimes
like
too.
when they were at the station, and I was like, okay, you just watched Frank destroy a bar of people, and all of those people would have just torn you to shreds.
Right.
And you're still trying to get away from Frank.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
what
it
is
was
wrong
kind of
with
strange.
you?
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, I'd been like, well, can I be your servant? Like, just don't let them kill me.
Well,
Like,
even like when he had her tied up or whatever in the hotel room, that context does not sound good. But she was like, "Just let me go. You don't have to do this. Just let me go." Like, why are you asking for that?
Yeah.
What if this happens again? You're dead.
yeah.
They found her very easy, and for someone who was intelligent as she wasn't intelligent.
Yeah, she was. Really,
It was kind of there was kind of an imbalance there almost, and the writing is what had to come from, because they wrote that shit. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
she's just delivering what they wrote. So there was definitely kind of almost a conflict of how they wanted the character to be.
Mhm.
But
or they wanted it to be that way, where she was too smart for her own good sometimes.
yeah, maybe she thought. I guess they
Because-
wanted us to think she thought she was smart enough to be able to get out of it, but ignorant in the sense that she don't want to learn from her own mistakes.
I guess what
I don't know.
she thought she could just return what she had and it would be done. And I think
Right.
she was like, "Just let me go. I'll go return these pictures." Like, no, they're gonna kill you.
Yeah,
Either
yeah.
way.
Yeah,
and
that's what.
she didn't understand that, but he did.
Oh yeah.
And so, I mean, it makes sense. It's just the way they delivered it. Sometimes you were like,
It felt
Yeah.
off a little bit sometimes.
Like, I think the idea that they were trying to go for was they both needed to learn something that only them two could teach each other,
right.
which was him like, hey, this is the real world and you need to know how this shit works. And then she's like, why don't you just relax sometimes? Like,
Yeah.
Look at the brighter side of things. Not everything is a war.
she did get him to relax a couple of times when she bought all that shit on Madani's credit card,
he
and he
was
was
like-
like, "Is that pizza?" And she's like, "Yeah." It was.
He's like, "I love that place."
What did he say? Sausage and mushroom or something like that.
She was like, "Sausage and mushroom." Like, whatever the name of the place was.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
like, "Is that Joe's?" And she's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I've had that place." Like, he's
Yeah,
like,
he was like dipped right over into that shit.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. But it was just great because he was giving her a hard time about buying all that shit, and all of a sudden he's like, "Ooh, really?"
Obviously, Madani had her primary role.
Irritating the shit out of me.
I feel like rest in peace, Nadine. Him and her should have just been partners,
Yeah.
and then they would have just
They would've
burnt
done
down
it.
the agency.
Yeah.
Like, because both of them just got played so hard.
Yeah.
And the only difference is she survived it, not by much, but she survived it
By
twice.
about what, a half an inch or something? Because
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, there was like, and I don't understand these kind of story arcs when they go like, this person almost killed me, and they played me, and they came on. Now I'm obsessed with catching this one person. Like, no, just like let go, move on. Like, stop being obsessed.
I don't know, man. I ain't
Because-
never been shot in the head, so I don't know
Me
how I'd
either,
react.
but she was borderline crazy.
Yeah,
the
I
entire
agree.
season.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I was like, anybody else would have like been locked up or stopped.
right.
Right.
That's how I feel.
Was very happy to throw her entire career away
Like,
over
why?
this dude. I guess
Why?
he must have been really good
He
at
was-
bed.
He was basically special needs after that for a very long time. Like, just let it go. Like, just move on.
Yeah.
And like, I know that they do stuff that they do with these to give people a reason to be in the season.
Yeah.
Because I was like, it was kind of like extra. Like, it's like the Russo guy needed to be in the story, so they wrote the story they wrote. So they tied it to her. She's tied to Frank. Frank's still tied to him. Curtis is like, look, I just want to go home.
Yeah,
Like,
he's the only normal character in the whole movie. He's like, man, I just want to go home.
Like, so I don't know. I just didn't think like it was. And then they had the doctor lady. And I was like,
I think that was the worst part of the season for me. I think overall,
Which
and
part?
she's
the doc. Well, they just built up the doctor's accident so much with the window that when Madani threw her out the window, I was like,
okay.
I don't need this.
yeah.
Like they built it up so every time she was by a window, she'd get panic attacks and freak out. And then it's like, wow, I wonder if she's gonna get thrown out the window.
Yeah, that
And
was
then
very
Madani
predictable.
throws her out the window. I was like,
Yeah.
did I need that? We didn't need this.
Yeah.
You could have killed her in any other way.
I mean, because the fight up
Or I
until
guess
the
she
window,
didn't die. You could have hurt her in any other way.
Like the fight up until
yeah,
the window, like I was,
That was
like,
fine, yeah.
I was like
yeah.
rooting for Madani hard. Like I
Yeah.
was like, smack that hoe. Like, and she was choking around. I was like, don't be getting choked out. And she thinks, but,
I will say this though, but for Madani, is she not trained?
yeah, I
Because
understand.
this gal, to my knowledge, she was just a psychiatrist.
Yeah, but there's being trained, and then there's crazy.
And then there's crazy.
And then
Yeah, I guess you got a
sometimes they
point.
equal out.
Sometimes
Yeah.
you don't need to know karate. Sometimes you just need to know crazy. But yeah, I was like, I thought Madani was trained, and she was getting thrown the fuck around for a little bit. I'm
I
like,
think
God
that
dang.
was also a moment of just like, y'all just do whatever. We're not
Yeah.
choreographing a fight. Just make it look
Yeah.
good.
Cor-
Like,
yeah.
but interesting fact, the psychiatrist lady was on Supergirl for
Oh,
a
okay.
season. She played Supergirl's sister's love interest, so Alex Danvers. She played Alex Danvers' love interest
Oh, okay.
on that show. Because I could, for the life of me, for like 2 episodes, I was like, I know who this woman is, and I couldn't figure it out. But she used to be on Supergirl.
Was she crazy in Supergirl?
No, she
Okay.
was a cop.
Oh, so she was trained,
Yeah, she just
just
came
in a
over.
different
They
universe.
didn't know it. She flew over.
Yeah.
Yeah, Barry Allen was running fucking up the timeline.
So we also got Jigsaw came back, and so I guess the two villains in this are Jigsaw and John Pilgrim, and they both had interesting story arcs. They tried to make Russo Jigsaw a tragic kind of because he wakes up, he doesn't know what he's done.
Yeah.
He doesn't remember being a bad guy at all. So he doesn't know why Madani is obsessing over him. He has no idea. And then he doesn't know how his face got air quotes disfigured because he wasn't that fucking bad. Move on, brother. And so he's confused, but he does have his memories up to a certain point. He says the last thing he remembers is being in the special forces still.
Right.
And that's it. So he has his childhood memories, which wasn't a very good childhood because he was, I believe, molested by a guy, one of his foster parents.
Oh yeah.
And so they kind of make him almost an anti-hero for a little while.
Yeah, they kind of made him like want you to root for him.
Yeah.
but I'm like, no, he
It-
killed
it-
Frank's
right,
family.
exactly.
Like I don't care if he
So
doesn't
there's
remember it.
Definitely aspects about this
Yeah.
season that I was just like, what are they trying to do? They tried to do too much, and there was times that it didn't feel like it needed to be as long as it was. Like
Yeah.
I think they could have condensed this down into maybe 10 episodes,
Yeah.
maybe even 8. But
Like I said, like back off on the Russo, have him
yeah,
established, but then
they should have not had him in this at all.
yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
get him established that you know he's gonna be out there.
Right? Yeah, and that's yeah.
And then in season 3, he comes back with a vengeance.
Yeah.
Because like even him coming back, he learns that he killed Frank's family, and then he learns that Frank threw him through mirror.
And he also learned that he didn't care that he did any of that too.
Yeah, but at the end of the day,
when he found out,
at the end of the day, it's still just Frank trying to kill him.
Yeah,
it's not that rivalry that they built at the end, or that they came to be at the end of the first season.
Right.
It was just kind of like, this guy doesn't remember anything, but it happened, and Frank's trying to kill him. Like, that's all that. It just wasn't as.
Let's not forget that he did a lot of shitty shit in the season.
Yeah,
so yeah.
Like, the most compelling thing was him actually pulling off a setup against Frank for killing those girls. I was like, oh, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, that was pretty dope, actually.
But then his death actually I thought was a pretty good payoff.
I liked it. I liked it.
Like, because they set it up, Curtis tells him, hey, he's here. Or he calls, Russo calls Curtis, and then Curtis tells Frank. And they set it up to where they're going to kind of, like, not patch things up, but it's going to be someone that's there when you die. He's going to grab your hand. He's going to be like, hey, this shit happened, but you're dying. Like almost a touching moment. And Billy like, goes into, he's like, Frank, you're here. Like, it's you. I knew it would be you. And then he's like about to go into a monologue, and Frank's like, "You're dead."
Yeah,
it just shoots him. Like they set it up to be like almost a touching moment, but there can't be a touching moment given the history. And Frank's like, "No, you gotta die." And that kind of put the icing on the cake of what the Punisher
why
really
didn't they
is.
scar him anymore? I'm still hung up on that. I'm not gonna lie, I am still hung up on that, man. Jigsaw in the comic books looks like shit.
He grinded. He just kept grinding it. He cheese grated it.
Oh, I know. His face would have looked so much worse.
That the way that he did that in the end of season 1, his face would have just been destroyed.
Because it wouldn't have been like perfect cuts on his face.
No,
like,
it would have been
his
just
face would have just been
shredded.
Yeah.
That made me so. I'm sitting there. I was watching it with the wife, and the wife was like, "Well, I guess maybe they're trying to make it a little more realistic because plastic surgery nowadays, blah blah blah." And I was like, "Yeah, I don't care. I don't care if it maybe is realistic. That's not how he should look.
Well, I think what
Jigsaw
happened,
should look like shit."
They made him a main character, and so they had to do something that was not as time consuming and cost effective because he's going to be in most episodes and a lot of scenes. It would add on to the production if you had to put him in this huge facial makeup setup every day to film these scenes.
Yeah, and you're probably right, but that does not justify it to me.
Oh no, but that I have to imagine that's what ended up happening.
You're probably right,
because you just paste them on and you I don't know, makeup, but then you just match the skin tone, and that's that. You call it a day.
Yeah, well, because I mean, at one point, Frank had as many scars as he did.
Yeah. Well, like at the end of the season, he is fucked up at the end of the season, and then at the end when he's saying goodbye to Amy, Rachel, Emily, whatever her name is, he's perfect. And I'm like, what? Like, he's no black eyes anymore, no cuts, everything's healed.
Yeah, we have to, I guess, assume that a certain amount of time has passed.
Yeah, but
I suppose.
But I mean, he looked more like Jigsaw by the end of the season than Jigsaw did.
He should have been exactly. So but that was that story arc, and it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't what I wanted from Jigsaw.
Yeah.
I wanted Jigsaw in the comic books has a much stronger presence, and he's very much the yin to Frank Castle's yang.
Right.
And they kill him. Okay, so that it falls into that very common, in my opinion. I think this is a common mistake that comic book movies and shows get caught up in, is they always seem to kill off really potentially good villain. And I'm going to use Spider-Man 2, which is an awesome movie. I love that movie. It's one of my favorite comic book movies ever.
Right.
Dr. Octopus was a great villain in that movie, and they killed him.
I think with movies, it's different than TV shows, though.
I guess
because they're not going to make a Spider-Man 2. Like, they're not going to make another movie where Doc Ock is the main villain with the same people, Whereas a TV show, though, you can get a couple seasons.
Yeah.
Where, like, well, I mean, they did get 2 seasons out of Billy Russo, but...
Yeah, but they only got 1 season out of Jigsaw, and it wasn't even a real season.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Because,
he wasn't
let's
the
face
main...
it, there's Billy Russo, and then he becomes Jigsaw,
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't even get the real Jigsaw, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, we got to see elements of what Jigsaw could have become.
Right.
but we didn't get to see the fully formed, functioning Jigsaw that we got in the comic books.
Because he got, like I said, he got the one scene where he set up Frank Castle for killing those girls. But I would have liked that to the degree of Kingpin in season 3, where Billy Russo has everything planned out, and he's 3 steps ahead of him, and he has to figure out how. But they killed him, so we won't get that, like you said. Well, we won't get it anyway because Disney's being an asshole and canceling everything. Or they're charging Netflix too much to have the rights, and so Netflix has to cancel everything.
So, well, let's talk about John Pilgrim. What do you guys think about
every
that?
scene he was in, I was like, I loved. Like, the way he acted, the way he delivered, the fight scene where he just gets murdered by that group of guys.
Oh, my God.
Dope,
and then he like, I was like, oh, this is how they're going to end this character? That's kind of trash.
I kind of thought for a second, too.
Yeah,
dude.
I was like, this is kind of trash. And then he kills everybody after.
Dude,
I'm like, how
savage.
are you even alive and you're killing everybody?
I love how it shows him, like, setting his jaw and shit
Oh,
later.
yeah,
I was like, oh, my God, this guy is hardcore, man.
Yeah.
That was dope.
But it was the way they did that was dope because what they were doing was he would be fixing the problem and then they would show you how it got like that.
Yeah,
like,
that was
he'd be
really
like,
good.
He'd be like wrapping his ribs and you see pow, stab, punch, and you're like, oh my God. And then you're like, then he's like doing this. I'm like, well, what the fuck did they do to his arm? And it's crash. And I'm like, oh fuck. Then he's like, my jaw. And then I'm like, oh, somebody broke his jaw, and it's just like, pow.
It shows how that happened, and I was like, Jesus.
So this guy put his face on the table and then punched his jaw, but his jaw went on the table, so I was like, oh my God.
That was...
And I was confused because I was like, I thought John Pilgrim was like the badass. He's over here getting his ass handed to him. And then he was like, oh yeah, but I'm not dead. I'm fine.
Those guys are some big boys, though, man.
I think that scene was key to showing if anybody can keep up with Punisher, it's going to be this guy.
Yeah.
And their fight scene that they had in the, like, where the RV was, where the, like, the junkyard type area, that was pretty legit fighting.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. That between that and that first scene that we were talking about, the bar scenes, I think those were the two
I like
best.
the hotel scene. We talked about that off.
Well, that kind of led into later
because he just had an arsenal of weapons.
Yeah,
God,
he just had, like,
and Frank had just a handgun.
Yeah,
and was just like, oh, let's do it. Like, let's make it happen. But he, what was funny is he kind of pulled the Frank move because Frank had that really awesome hotel deal where he bought the second room.
Oh yeah,
and then he knew they were going to be coming. It's like, I don't know if she misinformed him or if
he went into the right room, but then remember he was with all the hookers in that other room, so like he had access to that other room,
right? Yeah, because he walked in there because that guy was in there. Yeah.
And so he just went into that room.
Yeah, he pulled a Frank, and he was just like, and action.
I didn't even think about that little.
Yeah, so I thought it was kind of cool.
That scene was weird though. Whenever he got fucked up, and then he's just like kind of monologuing.
Man, that was strange. And that girl was giving him head. I was like, what
the hell?
I was like, what is happening? Then his wife showed up.
This good Christian man, like, what is happening?
And it's like he wasn't even fazed by it. Like she was putting in work. And he was just like sitting there.
He's like,
and he's just like, the Lord our Savior. And I was like, I don't think he's really upset with what's happening with you right now. I think you should probably get your life.
He's like, get out. And she was like, I thought I was doing a good job. Get out.
Hey, this guy's giving you an out. You better take it. Because typically he just shoots people and then he's done. And he moves on.
I like the guy that played John Pilgrim. He played in the movies The Collector and The Collection. A couple scary movies.
Like that.
He also played in Criminal Minds or something. I think it was Criminal Minds he played in. And he played a good guy in that. He played a good guy in The Collector, in The Collection also. But yeah, that guy's pretty good. I like that. The dude that played Pilgrim.
He became a good guy.
A goodish guy.
Yeah,
I mean,
he was just trying to get his son.
He was just trying to get his son. Yeah, so
I guess he was paying them for helping his wife, and then they ended up obtaining the son. So he's like, I guess I got that.
That was really interesting. And those two, I loved who Annette O'Toole and Corbin Burnson. I loved them in that role. Yeah. Those two roles, they were great, and I loved the end. The way they ended that with Frank coming in and popping that bitch right in the fucking head, and dude Corbin Burnson, the way he reacted when he saw his wife's head explode. He just lost his shit, man.
That was so good.
Well, it was dope because sent Amy in there first.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, she's about to have her badass moment.
Right.
And she's going to, like, just shoot this lady in the face.
Mhm.
And then I was like, no, she's not. It's Amy. And she didn't. And then he was like, point the gun at me. And then she looked at the knife. And I was like, oh, this is a setup. She's going to point the gun at him. She's going to get stabbed. And she's going to die. But then she didn't. She went to point the gun at him, and then she went to go grab the knife, and you just hear pow, and her head, like you said, just explodes.
Dude, that was
And I
dope.
was like, either Amy is a god or Frank is here. Like, and then Frank just walks in, fucking Russo.
Yeah, Russo.
He's like, oh, wrong guy. My bad.
They're like, God damn it, Frank! It's not Russo anymore. But yeah, and then he played that video for him, and he was talking all that shit. I'll kill your family. I'll kill your family's family. I'll kill the ghost of your family. And then he was just like, you kill yourself or you live, but you live with what you did, something like that.
He delivered it way better, but yeah.
And then he killed himself.
Yeah, they're walking out.
Yeah, walking out, you hear that pop.
And you saw that he
That's
didn't
very
kill John, so
okay.
that was good.
I don't want to make comparisons because it's the same character and it's not even like the same scenario setup. But there's a scene in I think it's the first Punisher movie. Did they ever make one before? is it
John Travolta?
Yeah, that one. Did they ever?
Yeah, they made one before that.
way before, but that one is the one I'm talking about,
Mhm.
where it's one of John Travolta's sons.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And he
Yeah.
gives him a bomb, and he ties the bomb to a string holding up in the air, and if the guy's trapped.
Yeah.
If he lets go of the bomb, it's gonna detonate the bomb because it's gonna pull out the string.
No,
and so he's like, "You look like a strong guy. You
Yeah.
can probably hold this up." And then he holds it, and then he walks away, and he's walking out, and he's just walking out, and then you hear the grenade explode.
Yeah, he's talking to. It's great because he's talking to John Travolta, and John Travolta's like, "You killed my son," and all of a sudden you hear in the background, "No!" Boom, and he says, "Both of them."
yeah, that was very
Oh my
like
God.
that was kind of adjacent to that scene.
Yeah, kind of similar. Yeah.
But one of my favorite scenes to show the relationship between him and Emily is
He's gonna pick a different chick name every time.
Amy. Whatever. Nobody knew her name. Really.
No, we didn't.
Is when they have that first I don't know. It's not the hotel. They're in somewhere, and when she's visiting her friend at the apartment.
Oh, okay,
and then
yeah,
they all
yeah.
come in, and she's at the end of the hallway, and she has to shoot that guy. And she's like freaking out. She's like, "I killed him," and he's like, "He's still breathing," and he shoots him in the head. He's like, "You didn't kill him.
Yeah,
I did."
exactly,
I was
yeah.
like, that was really
Yeah,
cool
'cause
writing.
he
I
didn't-
really, yeah.
He didn't want her to have to
Yeah.
live with that
He's
because
like, "You didn't kill her.
yeah.
I did. I just like the way
That was
you
really
wrote
cool.
that." Yeah.
Yep. That's when that goes back to what I said. I really like the progression of their
Mm-hmm.
relationship because at that point you could tell that he was already very invested in her,
Mm-hmm.
and the payoff at the end is honest. I loved it. I really did. I liked the moment that they shared at the bus station
Mm-hmm.
when he kind of, without saying it, basically tells her that he loves her.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really heartwarming. It was really good.
I thought he was gonna when John had her and he was like, "You want to do it?" Because when they had their kind of heart to heart, which was kind of heavy about what you would do for your kids. He was like, "If you had the chance, what would you do?" And he said anything. So he was so John was like, "Well, you understand what the fuck I'm doing."
Yeah.
But then he kind of told me, he was like, "Hey, you see that girl right there? Like, I'd do anything for her." So point the gun at me. I thought he was gonna be like, "You see that girl right there? Like, I'll do anything for her. That's my daughter. Don't kill her." Like, I thought he was gonna say something like that, really impactful, and then she was gonna start crying, and I was gonna start crying. But he was just like, "Don't kill that kid," basically, because I care about her. So I think that shows you that at the end of the day, he got his moral compass back, even though he was kind of fucked up.
There's
for
still
killing
some
those ladies.
humanity.
Like he was
left
like,
in
"No,
him.
I was set up. I'm still that guy. I still got to put my hat on every day and help people when I see something wrong."
But at the same time, it almost didn't because before this season, he was like, "I'm just gonna go and try to live a life." He's traveling. He's going to hotels and bars and meeting hot bartenders and hooking up.
Getting booty.
Yeah.
And then getting that booty shot.
Getting the booty shot in the arm.
Kicking names and taking
Kicking
ass.
names and taking ass.
But then at the end of this season, he's like, "No, I'm the Punisher. I'm gonna kill all the criminals."
Yeah, because
And
it does.
He calls up the two gangs to meet up, and they're like,
I didn't
"You
call
go to this
you.
meeting?" Well, they all put their guns like, you didn't call this meeting? Well, I didn't call this meeting. And then he's like, Russo!
Russo!
And you're turning, you're like, oh, he's got the
trench coat and the deal. And I know that was like an homage to one of the covers.
Yeah, a couple of them actually.
Because, they have the two guns, just machine guns.
I would have liked to have seen that fight.
I would have too.
I think that was the fight. He just and they all died.
Yeah, he did. He walked out, screamed Russo at him, shot him. They bullets didn't kill him. They died from the Russo.
Yeah,
he was just Russo. They all turned to dust like Thanos snapped.
He's Dragonborn.
One of
Rodatum.
That's how deep our geekdom is. We know all the Skyrim.
We talked about how we felt like the bathroom fight was one of the better fight scenes, and the hotel fight and stuff was nice. The setup was interesting too. The very end of it, after Russo leaves, and then Punisher's just like, "All right, he's gone. I'm turning it on now," and he just like annihilates those like 7 guys.
Yeah,
and they clearly had the advantage, and then he was just like, "No, I'm just gonna win." That was like one of the only moments that we really had where we watch him just kind of run through people.
Yeah.
Even though he's fucked up.
Yeah.
Like you really get to, because I don't know. I guess I just wanted to see him do more. Because I mean, every time we see, I don't understand this. Like, it's just funny to me. I guess every time I see it happen, like when Amy gets captured, and then he's like chasing her down, trying to fall into the elevator.
He jumps on the car.
No. Uh-huh. And then Amy and John, they get in the elevator. They go down. Then he runs down or something, and she gets, or whatever he does. But he's like standing next to an elevator, and then
and the cops,
yeah. And he just goes.
And I was like, I laughed so hard.
I was like, they haven't done anything yet.
But like, we're gonna.
No, I know, but it's just so funny because he treats, it doesn't matter how many guys it is, he treats it like he's taking on an army.
I know. I thought the same thing. He looked at him, he was all, Russo!
Like, it's like in his head, every person's face is Billy Russo.
Yeah.
And he just goes to town. And so to see him actually take on a decent amount of people in that short little thing, and it was kind of I think it was a kind of a one-shot situation. It wasn't entirely, but there was a long stretch of time where it wasn't cutting. It's like, that's what I want to see, but I want to see him do it to like 20 people.
Yeah, I want
the Arkham Knight fight sequence.
Yeah, I want that. I want the Daredevil-styled fights where he just goes into a room, it's one cut, long pan around the room, and he's destroying everybody.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing
that. We got that from him, but it was in Daredevil in the prison.
Right, yeah.
And I'm like, I want another scene like that, because he tears through people, but a lot of times you can't see what's going on. Like, he does that out in the woods, like when they're trapped in the...
that was a good sequence.
Yeah.
I like that.
But I would have loved to have seen, like, him just... Yeah, like Arkham Knight, like just like punching people, shooting people in the
69 hit combos.
Yeah, like John Wick meets Arkham Knight, like just
John Knight
or
Wick.
Arkham Wick.
That would have been that's one of the things I think was missing from both of the Punisher seasons is they didn't take some of the fight directions that Daredevil had.
Okay, yeah.
Well, I think it helps Daredevil to be hand-to-hand combat driven. It lends itself to you because that looks better.
Okay.
Like when you go into a room with nothing but your fists and then you beat 20 people, then you're like, that's fucking epic. You go into a room, 20 people, and shoot all of them.
I mean, should they do it with John Wick?
Yeah, but he goes into a room and shoots like 100 people.
Yeah, but
what's he do? But John Wick does what? Gun fu? Isn't that what it's called? Gun fu?
Yeah, he does all of it. It doesn't matter. It's Keanu Reeves. Like
not movie foo.
Not movie foo.
But gun foo.
But gun foo because he trains.
Netflix.
Yeah, because he trains.
Yeah, but
Netflix foo.
But John Bernthal, like he was in a lot of those shows. There wasn't really. I feel like he did a lot of those scenes himself. So he's capable. Yeah. And he's built for it too. Like he's clearly he doesn't look like a guy who doesn't get it done.
Right.
You know.
I think was almost perfectly casted.
I think he was born to play this fucking role. He's definitely the best Punisher we've ever gotten. Yeah. And we've had Dolph Lundgren played it first. Yeah, that movie is pretty bad, but it's still kind of a fun watch, honestly.
Yeah.
Thomas Jane did it, and Thomas Jane was all right.
I like that movie.
I like that movie too.
That movie has one of my favorite movie scenes in it.
Which thing is that?
It's not even the scene; it's the line that gets delivered.
Okay.
And he's getting chased in the car, and he has that car that he rigged up. He has the windows that slide down.
Yeah.
In the middle, and he's getting shot at.
Are you talking about when he's getting chased by Harry Heck?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he jumps over the bridge, and he lands it, and you're like, oh, okay. And then there's a kid out in the road, and he turns and flips it, and what was the guy's name?
Harry Heck.
Harry Heck comes up to him, and he pulls out his pocket knife. Like, he's crawling out of a wrecked car, and he pulls out his pocket knife, and Harry Heck goes, never bring a knife to a gunfight. And he pulls out his gun, and then the Punisher pushes the button on his knife, and it shoots up into his neck.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, that's how that's just how that should be. And I always love that. I love that movie because of that scene.
It's an interesting reason to like a movie.
When I saw it as a kid, I was
I like that movie because both of them. Boom, both of them. No, that's an all right movie. And then after that movie, they had the Punisher Warzone, and I think it was Ray Winstone that played the Punisher, and the Jigsaw was the villain in that movie.
It actually looked like Jigsaw.
It actually looked like fucking Jigsaw. Played not very well though. That movie it had some pretty cool action moments, but it was pretty bad. My last thing that I want to say about this season is I feel like they had a completely wasted opportunity and a wasted appearance by Karen Page.
Yeah.
Her appearance in this, while there's nothing wrong with Deborah Ann Woll, you guys know I like Deborah. I think she's great. But it was pointless to have her in there.
It wasn't okay, sorry.
She served no purpose whatsoever in getting him out, and doing all, and it was just a complete plot device type of appearance, and I just thought it was.
I think she
was
good to be there, and then she should have been done when Explodey Kid was done. What? The guy that blew himself up. That's when she should have been done for the season. I think
Explodey Kid.
But
what?
Huh?
What are you talking about?
Remember the hotel situation?
That was in the first season.
Was it the first season?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was.
Was it?
Damn, that's right.
Well, she should have been done then.
She should have been in the season.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, you're right. I was.
I guess I meshed that together because she showed up like late.
At the same time, almost.
Yeah, so it's like she should have.
You just watched them.
Yeah, I just watched them back to back.
Yeah.
That's probably why.
That's probably why.
But she should have been done then. I think. Well, they tried. Here's why it was pointless, because they were trying to sell this Karen Page, Frank Castle romance, and then they never followed up on it.
Well, it's weird because then there's still sometimes a romance, between them two.
But they
I'm like, hey.
They kind of
two-timing bitch.
So they kind of well, they kind of just ended it. I feel like
two-timing bitch.
I feel like they kind of ended that, and then they kind of was like, hey,
I think that's probably the only reason they even had her on here was so they could end that.
Yeah, because she's like,
what
you did doesn't change how I feel about you. We was like, we don't even know.
How do you feel about it?
I mean, I guess it was kind of comical for her to get access to the bodies.
I didn't.
And trade her shoes.
Anticipation for that. Then I'm like, what's going on?
Why did he
take the shoes?
Yeah, it was
and then he's wearing them, and I was like, plot twist.
Yeah, it was so strange to have her even show up because I just think that there was. It's not like they couldn't have written a way for Madani to get down there to, without. They didn't need her.
What they were checking on.
They were looking to see if the bodies were dead before Castle got there.
Oh yeah.
And to see if it
was
possible.
An important plot point.
It was, but it was unnecessary to have Karen Page come in just to get Madani wasn't capable of getting down there and talking to some corner down there. Like she's a fucking FBI agent. You know what I mean? It's like she's not
Security.
Or Homeland Security. Yeah. She's not capable enough to get down there. Like,
nope.
I just think that I was like, that's more of like a reflection on her incompetence.
I think that whole episode was weird because he for only about 30 minutes he believed that he killed those. Like that was a very important part.
It was
for him.
very important.
And like he's like, I'm done. Like,
they squashed it real fast.
Go to jail. And then they're like, you didn't kill him, and he's like, Russo.
Yeah.
Like that's exactly what happened. Like they were like,
I'm gonna make that like my.
That's my new battle cry. Every time I jump out of a
Yeah.
plane in Apex Legends, I'm screaming Russo on the way down.
They're like, hey, they were dead when you got there, and he's like, let's get out of this bitch then, and
Yeah.
that's what happened.
I think that we could have had an episode of him doubting himself.
Like a whole episode.
I think that would have been
and
nice,
maybe
honestly.
A half.
But it would have had to have been about episode 6 because I really think there only needed to be about 8
Yeah.
episodes in this.
Yeah, I mean,
They should have just took. I agree. They should have took out the whole Jigsaw storyline, introduced him, and made him become a part of season 3, and have a whole season 3 of
Introduce
Jigsaw.
that he's messed up, and then have him escape at like the
Yeah.
end credit scene or something.
There you go. And then I think the John Pilgrim storyline was fine. I think that could have been the whole focus of the season, and that's why. And we'll go back to what I said about Daredevil season 3. That's why season 3 for me was such a good season, because it was one cohesive, well thought out, well written, and well put together a story that you could follow really well. And this season suffers from two things kind of going on. And two separate stories kind of going on, interweaving with each other.
it was like 7
3 or
stories.
4.
Yeah,
it was like
because
7.
You have Frank and Billy's non-existent relationship anymore because
Mhm.
he doesn't remember it. And then you have Madani and Billy and the psychiatrist. Then you have
Right.
Frank and Johnny Preacher Pilgrim.
Johnny Preacher Pilgrim. I couldn't even
and then
say
you
that.
and then you have the girl and Frank. Like,
And
there was
then you
just a
have
lot of-
Frank and Curtis and Billy.
Yeah, like
And
there
then
was-
you have Nadani and the black cop.
And then you bring in Karen Page for
Yeah,
no
everybody
fucking reason.
everybody had their own stories going on with every other character. That it was kind of a jumble
Like-
of story.
Yeah.
Like the black cop and Karen.
Which is he from Daredevil?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were both in there just to basically say this is all in the same universe.
Okay, can
Yeah.
we just?
He's a jackass. I'm sorry.
This one thing that confused me. This would not happen. Obviously, a lot of this wouldn't happen in real life. But when they are in that house, like she's searching the house, and he shows up, and she just shoots him twice in the chest,
Yeah.
and then they're just like, "It's fine."
Hey man, you shot me. Don't do that again.
Yeah, and he brings it up like one other time. I'm like, no, if you accidentally shoot somebody, fatal or not, protected with a shield, whatever, body armor, you can't do that.
No,
you
that's
can't
not
just-
okay.
You can't accidentally shoot people and still be a normal citizen in the world.
Yeah, there was definitely. I thought that too. I was just
They
like,
just kinda
what the
brushed
fuck?
over
He's just
that.
gonna shake that off.
He's like, yeah, like
I
you
thought
okay?
that was kinda strange.
Yeah, I guess I'm good.
So, but overall, I mean, I thought, like I said, I thought it was really good. I liked it.
There were definitely cool moments for sure.
There was a lot of cool moments. There was some, and obviously there was some stuff that I didn't care for. If I had to give it a rating, I would give it about probably a 6 out of 10.
Oh, that's I thought mine was gonna be low, but that's.
Was your 7?
I was gonna go like 6.5.
6.5.
6.
I'd just go 6.
6.25. 7.
I don't want to give it a
2,
5.
5, 7, 3, 9, 4,
I don't
2,
want to
2,
give it a
1.
5 because John Berthal is.
Yeah, he.
Yeah, he's so
incredible.
good. Yeah,
And so I don't want more seasons of Punisher. I just want more him as Punisher.
I wouldn't disagree with that. Actually, I think
Like
that
I don't want any more seasons of
I
Punisher.
thought season 1 was really good.
Yeah. Well, here's what I'm saying. If we ever get an opportunity to have these guys cross over in movies, like then throw them in a movie,
Mm-hmm.
like have him interacting with whoever he interacts with,
Maybe that's actually what we need. I think
And then-
you're right.
and then just throw him on like 8 episode of Agents of Shield, so he just shows up, just fucks some shit up. Like I wouldn't even be mad if they did that. If they said season 7 Agents of Shield, and it's like there's this guy just going around just killing everybody,
Yeah.
and like
Well-
they're just trying to catch the Punisher. Like just do
what
that.
I think would be cool if, like, in like let's just take Endgame for an example. If like they're discussing half the population's gone, and they're like looking at like security footage. Like you got this guy just killing off criminals, and you look at the screen or whatever. And there's just this guy with like 2 machine guns, just mowing people down. Like just that would be enough
Yeah.
for me to be like, oh my god, that's the Punisher.
Yeah.
Like but they're so far they just don't do anything
I think
like that.
I think that I don't know if, like I said, I thought season 1 of Punisher was really good. I liked it a lot. This one I liked. I thought it was really good, but it wasn't great, and it suffered from them trying to. I think what the problem is that they don't have really enough story to fill a full season. So I think maybe if Netflix keeps the rights, I think they should just make Punisher movies.
Yeah,
because I think a Punisher movie
with John
Bernthal and the stories, like they could have taken both of these stories, separated them, and made 2 dope Punisher movies instead. And I think that they could have squeezed, and it wouldn't even have taken much squeezing. They could have fit each one of them into like a 2-hour, 2.5-hour at the longest.
Because you could
good
easily
movie.
you can make John Wick ripoffs, and if you do it right, I'm gonna watch it.
Oh yeah, I'll watch the shit out of it.
You can easily do that with the Punisher.
I mean, I liked Atomic Blonde, and that's basically a female John Wick movie.
It was a little different styled, but
yeah.
I like that.
I liked that movie. I thought the movie was dope.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys think of Punisher Season 2? Let us know. Hit us up on Twitter. You can find us at ZC_podcast. Hit us up on Facebook. You can find us at Zero Cred Podcast on Facebook. And let us know what you think. Like it, dislike it. Think they should sell it all off and turn it into a fucking anime instead.
Punisher anime.
Punisher anime. I'd watch that shit, actually. Yeah. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Peace, drugs, love.